Today I am going to talk to you all about all the books that I bought in the month of January. Now, in my 2021 goals, I talked about how I'm going to be really stifling my spending. I'm not going to be hauling as much. I'm not going to be purchasing as many books. And I didn't, and I'm really proud of myself. This is a small haul, and about 90% of the books here are from my used bookstore. So I had done an unhaul recently. I had taken a bunch of books into my used bookstore, so I got credit, and then I shopped around and found a few other things that I wanted to bring home. So to me, that doesn't dip into my budget because it's books I already have in exchange for new to me books. So I just thought, I'm gonna do a haul and show you what I've got. The first book is actually one from my recent Owl Crate, and that is Lore. I'm really excited to read this, even if I'm not the biggest fan of the cover, the Owl Crate edition cover. This is the exclusive signed edition. It is black instead of white. This is a YA standalone that's kind of based on the Greek gods, and I know there's a competition in here where heirs to the gods or their blood descendants can kill them and assume their spot, something along those lines. So it sounds like a really interesting concept for a book, so that I am excited about. And I wanted to see something in my recent Owl Crate unboxing. Someone had mentioned, is the spine upside down? Because I had taken the cover, the dust jacket off, and I didn't even notice. So we're gonna see. So this is the book. It is right side up. Oh my God. You guys, it is. Look at that. I don't know, is that supposed to be like that? Because this is the right side up of the book, right? And it's upside down. If I put the book upside down, we get that. Ooh, white balance. Well then, isn't that interesting? That's interesting. I am excited for the book itself. I'm not going to display it naked because it's not pretty, so whatever. I really am not super sussed about it, but yeah, that was an interesting catch by somebody who noticed that when I did not. So we're starting off real good, y'all, with this Owl Crate box. Next, we have a book that I didn't actually purchase, and that is Discovery of Witches. This was in my unhaul, and I ended up deciding to keep it. This is the only book from my unhaul that I decided to keep. And I'm counting it as a hauled book for the month because it was off and gone and going. And then everyone's like, no, read it, no, read it. And then my friend, who doesn't really read much, who doesn't watch my channel really, had texted me. She's like, hey, I watched A Discovery of Witches. Have you seen it? It's really good. You should watch it. I think you'd like it. And I was like, I haven't watched it yet, but I have the book, but I haven't read that yet. She goes, can I borrow it when you're done? I'm like, it felt like it was just all things pointing to I needed to keep this book. So I did. Next up, I picked up Miss Peregrine's School for Peculiar Children, and this is the first book in this series. I have not read any of it. I know so many people love this book. This is the one that I found at the used bookstore, so I was super excited. I think the pictures are so cool. It just looks really good. I know there's a movie. I have not seen it. And I just know that this is a really beloved series, and I figured, why not? Let's see what it's all about. The next one I picked up was not from the used bookstore, and that is Winds of Strife by Eugene Gubin. I'm thrilled for this. This is a self-published fantasy book, and I picked it up because we are doing the Shelf Published In. It is a Discord, like a sister Discord, spun off of Shelf Space, where we talk about all things self-published. published, self-published books. We're doing read-alongs. We're doing monthly buddy reads. So I will leave that down below because to me, like that's one of my goals this year is to read more self-published authors and to hype them up more because it's so difficult out there for a small self-published author, right? They don't have the money and the marketing of a large corporation behind them to push their book. And 9 times out of 10, their book is probably really freaking good because they have put their entire heart and soul into it and they've done everything themselves. So I'm really excited to read more self-published books, especially starting with this one because y'all look at this cover. It's so pretty. I love it. And it's like a witch hunter type story where I'm pretty sure the like witch has infiltrated the witch hunters, something along those lines. It sounds fantastic and I'm so excited to read this. Y'all gonna laugh at me because the next book I walked past like 3 or 4 times, right? When I was at the used bookstore. I saw it and I'm like, not for me. And kept walking past. And then I walk back around and be like, maybe. And I was like, no, Jess, you're not going to like it. Like, why are you picking this up? And then I was like, you know what? Jess, you need to know. You're pretty sure you're not going to love it. But you need to know the hype. Because there is a chance that you will like it. And that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I would have not picked this up if it wouldn't have been like used and using my credit at the used bookstore. Okay, let's be real. We all know I am not a fairy fan. We all know that I didn't love Throne of Glass. I adored Alan reading this in his reading vlog though. So like that actually kind of made me want to read it more. Alan's reading vlog at Library of Alexandria, I'll link it below. He made me want to read this just because of his amazing reactions to the awful cringiness. And I'm like, I just need to know what the hype is. Because now that Alan has read it, I really feel like the last person in the world who has not read A Court of Thorns and Roses. So we'll see if it is so good or so trash. The next one I picked up at the used bookstore was Furies of Calderon by Jim Butcher. I have never read a Jim Butcher book, but I know my girl Leslie at The Nerdy Narrative loves him. She loves the Dresden Files, and I'm just really excited to read this. This seemed more me than the Dresden Files because it's more like, boom, like epic fantasy. I'm pretty sure this is the one where he was like dared to write some crazy Pokemon times the Roman Empire and make it fantasy, and I'm like, cool, sounds good to me. I know it's a series. I don't know how many books are in this series, but she thick. It's just... The next one I picked up is The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in the Percy Jackson series. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people know that. Again, I feel like one of the last people in the world who's never actually read this series. I saw the movie when it came out. I didn't think it was that bad, but I had never read the books. So I didn't have that basis of this is bad because it's not like the books. Like in my head, I just thought it was a fun story. It was cool and I like Lowen Lerman. But I'm excited to read this. It is a like middle grade fantasy. I want to read this with my daughter who is like 7, almost 8, and she's just been into it lately. If you don't know, we have like this whole struggle with my daughter in reading. She is dyslexic. We figured that out this school year, and she has been getting help to help her rewire her brain, basically is how they describe it, but basically just learn to read differently than people that don't have dyslexia. And it has been the best thing. Like it's night and day. So she's actually like enjoying reading now. She can read. She doesn't come home upset anymore because she's stupid and can't read. So it's like a whole thing. So she's been getting more and more into reading, and I have a bunch of middle grade books that I want to start kind of like reading with her when she's ready. The next book is one you probably aren't going to care about too much. It's a non-fiction, but I wanted to show you guys. It anyway, and that is influencer. This is all about influencer marketing, growing a brand, and kind of looking at things from the brand's point of view and the brand's perspective, and just kind of how to grow in the digital age. If you don't know, I actually run a mom blog. It is thecoffeemom.net, and I have my Instagram account associated with it. I'll leave it down below if you want to check out that side of my life. I've been doing that for about 4 years, and I actually, I guess, technically am an influencer. I work frequently with brands doing sponsorships and collaborations, whether it be on my website or just on my Instagram. So it's just something that I got to kind of work on my career, I guess. Is it a career? It's a thing that I do that pays my bills. But it's just one of the many things I do because I also work in marketing. So yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. I have heard a lot of good things about this book from other girls that, you know, I connect with that are other influencers, other mom bloggers specifically. So I'm really, really excited to read this one. All right, so the last one that I want to show you is actually an entire series. And I got this because I had won a gift card at work and I used it to buy myself a box set of books. So really, my total spending, like out of pocket for the month is very, very low. Like, I think the only one that I ended up like purchasing with my money is the influencer book and Winds of Strife. So go me. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm actually doing a read along with Alan at the Library of Alexandria, and it is Feb Rising. So we are going to be reading the entire Red Rising series. So I used my gift card to purchase this. This is all 5 books that are out right now in paperback, and I'm excited to read them. I know this series is a little hit or miss for people, but I'm excited to see how I end up feeling about it because I have the whole series now and I hope that I really enjoy it. Oh. Close enough! Alright, y'all, these are all the books that I purchased in the month of January. Hopefully you enjoyed this and let me know which one of these I should get to first. Alright, have a good one and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.